Oh, nope. My goodness gracious. Well, we might have a little problem. I may not be able to change these shocks.
After 26 years of marriage and raising 2 boys,
Yeah, well, we're still working on that part.
we're grabbing our cameras to have some fun. Photography, travel, parenting, marriage, and life.
Let's get real about all of it.
Oh, and did we mention we're converting a school bus too? I'm Trish,
I'm Steve.
and together,
We're Team Rawls.
Hey everybody, so I thought I'd give you an update on what we've done to the bus so far. The first thing we did was we took all these nasty stickers off. It was covered with stickers. The second thing we did was we changed the shocks, and Steve will explain why. And just so you know, I did help. I know I'm behind the camera most of the time, but when the camera was not rolling, I was under the bus, getting my hands dirty and helping to take those shocks off.
So when we bought the bus in Houston, we only drove it around on the city streets to test drive it. And on the way home on the highway, I noticed that there was a lot of noise from under the bus that sounded like things were loose when I'd hit a bump. And there was a lot of what I'll call wheel hop, a lot of bouncing that went on. So my first thought was maybe the shocks were worn out, or the kingpins in the front might have been bad. But I was a little shocked, pun intended, a little shocked when I crawled under here and looked and found this one back shock that's completely broken. Bushing's gone and it's no longer connected to the bus at all, so it's doing absolutely nothing but making a lot of noise when it hits a bump. The shock on the other side on the rear is also broken. It's missing the bushing, but it's still connected, so it's not doing anything either but rattling. I thought it was the front shocks that were causing the wheel hop the most, and I'm sure the front shocks are also worn out because they probably came on this 2001 bus, but I didn't expect to find the rear shocks completely loose. There. We're going to get our cheater pipe on there, like that, and then we're going to pull and hopefully break this thing loose. But right now it ain't looking good. Golly. Well, that's not how I wanted this to go.
Want me to try it?
I think you should. More muscle, more muscle. Probably shouldn't be filming this.
Why?
Because this is not... There it went. So it's sort of like what I said earlier about if you can't fix it, get a bigger hammer. It's sort of like if you can't fix it, get a bigger breaker bar. I don't know why this thing doesn't want to go on this impact wrench, but I had problems getting it on earlier. I don't know. And there's the first shock.
Yay!
So this is the old shock. You can tell if this shock is worn out. If you compress it and it does not rise again, it's worn out. Right now it's compressed, but when I pull this apart,
Yeah.
like this, I take this off, it's gonna go out to its full length.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm going to press this, yeah, and take that off. Let that go up, like that. And the reason I'm putting the top on first is because I think I can probably push the bottom up easier than I can pull the top
Push the top down.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Well, next time I may do the top last and the bottom first. Yep, that's gonna be tough. I'm close. Real close. But no jelly bean. There, I think I got it that time. Nope. I just gotta get this thing up there so I can get the bolt started in the hole where it's supposed to go. And because it's pushing down on it,
Yeah.
it's not allowing me to get the bolt started.
You want me to reach my hand in there and try to get the bolt started?
That's where it belongs.
Oh, I can see it.
I can too, but I can't get the bolt started in it.
There it is. Oh.
3 hours later.
Give me some
Okay, so we decided to unhook it from the bottom. I mean, unhook it from the top. Hook in the bottom first.
Yeah.
And then go back up and screw the top in, because that was easier.
Made it a little easier.
Yeah.
One down. Ready to go. There's no rubber bushing. This goes in here, and there should be a rubber bushing around it. Rubber bushing's worn out on both ends. So the shock wasn't doing anything other than making a lot of noise when you hit the bumps. Four shocks down, job complete.
The third thing we did was we got all the seats out. And as you can see, they're all stacked up behind me there. So if anybody's interested in a bus seat, give us a call. Dad's gonna climb under there. I get to go inside.
Okay, Trish,
Yeah?
when it comes out, if you can't hear me, I'm gonna do this.
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
We needed to come get a new compressor because the compressor we were using was not strong enough to help us get the seats out of the bus. We got our new, what's the thing called?
Air compressor?
Air compressor. We got our new air compressor, and I got, oh jeez, dang it. Got 2 little meltables. Yum, Fireside and Holly and Ivy. Yum.
Those seats that we couldn't get to the last bolts in the floor, the reason we can is because the nuts that are on the end of those bolts are underneath this fan. So
Yeah.
you can't get your hands or a wrench up there underneath between the floor of the bus and the fan. You can't get in there to put a wrench on the bolts. You can't even see the bolts.
Yeah.
And you can't reach with your hand far enough to even feel the bolts because the bolts fall in the middle of the width of this fan. So the only way to get to those bolts is to take this fan down. This has to come out anyway, but that's the only way that you can reach those bolts. Once those 2 bolts are out, this thing will fall,
Oh, yeah.
which we don't want
That's
this thing to
not
fall because it's
good.
heavy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a 2-person job. Somebody's going to have to undo the bolts while the other person holds this thing up.
Okay, we got all the seats unbolted, so now we just need to lift them out of the bus and get them out of here. So AJ and Hank are gonna come help us. Next time you see it, it'll look like this. Next up is the flooring and the walls and the ceiling, and basically gutting it to prepare for spray foam insulation. Until next time, remember to like us on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go do it wherever that button is. And if we don't see you, hear from you, talk to you before Christmas, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, and we will see you in 2021.